ओंकार सतनाम करता पुरख निर्भय निर्वैर अकाल मूरत अजूनी सैपं गुर प्रसाद।
Divine God, the Vaheguru, is one and only one. His name is true. He is the Creator. He is without fear. He has no hatred. He is in a timeless form. He is beyond births and deaths. He is self-illuminated. He is realized by the kindness of the true Guru.
जप आद सच जुगाद सच है भी सच नानक होसी भी सच।
He was true in the beginning. He was true throughout all ages. He is true now. O Nanak, He will be true forever and ever.
सोचे सोच न होवई जे सोची लखवार चुपे चुप न होवई जे लाए रहा लिवतार।
Mind does not become pure if you take bath thousands of times. Mind does not stop wandering if you remain silent.
भुखिया भुख न उतरी जे बन्ना पुरिया पार सह सियाणपा लख होए ता इक न चले नाल।
Hunger of wealth does not diminish by collecting more and more wealth. If you try to be extremely clever and knowledgeable, that cannot get you salvation.
किव सचियारा होइए किव कूड़े टुटे पाल हुक्म रजाई चलना नानक लिखिया नाल।
Then how can we be truthful and spiritually pure? How can we get rid of falsehood and worldly illusions? Nanak says, be satisfied with what is destined for you, accept that as God's will.
हुक्मी होवन आकार हुक्म न कहया जाई हुक्मी होवन जी हुक्म मिलै वड्याई।
According to the will of Vaheguru, all creatures get their respective forms. His will cannot be explained. By Vaheguru's will, beings come into existence and the souls are infused in bodies by His will. Greatness is obtained by Vaheguru's will.
हुक्मी उत्तम नीच हुक्म लिख दुख सुख पाए हैं इक ना हुक्मी बख्शीश इक हुक्मी सदा पवाए हैं।
Some are superior, some inferior by Vaheguru's will. By His will, the creatures receive pain and pleasure. Some by His will receive His grace, and some by His will are whirled around in cycles of births and deaths.
हुक्म अंदर सब को बाहर हुक्म न कोए नानक हुक्म जे बुझै ताहों में कहे न कोए।
All are subject to His will and no one is exception. Nanak says, if one understands this concept of His will and adjusts accordingly, then his egoism die of itself.
गावे को ताण होवे किसे ताण गावे को दात जाने निशान गावे को गुण वड्याइयां चार गावे को विद्या विक्रम विचार।
Some sing His praises for His might with all their stamina. Some sing about His gifts to us and consider those gifts as proof of His existence. Some sing about His noble qualities and his greatness. Some sing about his knowledge, which is very difficult to understand.
गावे को साज करे तन खे, गावे को जी ले फिर दे, गावे को जापे दिसे दूर, गावे को वेखे हाद राह दूर.
Some sing that he creates and then reduces things to dust. Some sing that he takes away life and then gives it back. Some sing that God appeared to be far off, while some sing that he is nearest of near and seen everywhere present.
कथना कथी न आवे तोट, कथ कथ कथी कोटि कोट कोट.
There is no end to his descriptions and praises. Millions of people have tried to describe him millions of times.
देंदा दे लेंदे थक पाहे, जुगा जुगंतर खाही खाहे, हुक्मी हुक्म चलाए राह, नानक विगसै वे परवाह.
Waheguru keeps on giving. The receivers get tired of receiving, but he does not stop. From ages and ages, we have been consuming his gifts. God, by his will, directs, manages the way of the universe. Nanak says, God, who is carefree, rejoices and is ever in bliss.
साचा साहिब साच नाई, पाख्या पाओ अपार, आखे मंगे देह देह, दात करे दातार.
He is true and eternal. His name is true. His language is love. He is infinite being. We ask, we beg him to give us more and more. The great giver keeps on giving.
फिर के अग्गे रखिए जित दिसै दरबार, मुँहों की बोलण बोलिए जित सुन तरे प्यार.
Then what should we offer him in our gratitude so that he is pleased and we can have glimpse of his court, his place? What words should we utter so that he loves us?
अमृत वेला सच नाउ, वड्याई विचार, कर्मी आवे कपड़ा, नदरी मोख द्वार. नानक एवें जानिए सब आपे सचियार.
In the early morning hours, ambrosial hours of his presence, meditate on his true name and think about his excellence and virtuous qualities. The human body is obtained by his grace. The salvation is obtained by his blessing. Nanak says, this is how we can realize him who is self-existent and everlasting.
थाप्या न जाए कीता न होए, आपे आप निरंजन सोए, जिन सेव्या तिन पाया मान, नानक गाविया गुणी निधान.
Waheguru cannot be established and cannot be made because he is self-made and is everywhere. He created himself. He is flawless and pure. Those who remember him with love and devotion, they are honored. Nanak says, let us sing his praises, who is a treasure of virtues.
गाविए सुनिए मन रखिए पाओ, दुख पर हर सुख कर ले जाए. गुरमुख नादं गुरमुख वेदं, गुरमुख रहा समाई. गुर ईसर गुर गोरख बर्मा, गुरु पार्वती माई.
By singing and by listening to His praises with love in your heart, you can get rid of pains and sorrows, and your heart will be filled with true happiness. Vahiguru's word is the eternal song. Vahiguru's word is the divine knowledge. Vahiguru's word prevails everywhere.
जे हो जाना आखा नाही, कहना कथन न जाए। गुरा एक देह बुझाए, सबना जिया का एक दाता, सो में विसर न जाए।
God is Shiva, God is Vishnu and Brahma, God is Parvati and other goddesses, means God is one, though we have given Him many names. Even if I realize God's true greatness, I cannot describe Him because He cannot be described by words. O my Guru, bless me with this understanding that I may never forget Vaheguru, who is the only provider of all living beings.
तीरथ नावा जे तिस पावा, विण पाणे के नाए करी। जेती शिष्ट उपाय वेखा, विन कर्मा के मिलै लई।
I will go to the sacred places for a bath only if by doing so I can please Vaheguru. If he is not pleased, then what use is to take bath there? When I look at God's creation, I see that each of the creatures gets what He gives him, nothing less and nothing more.
मत विच रतन जवाहर माणिक, जे एक गुर की सिख सुनी। गुरा एक देह बुझाई, सबना जियां का एक दाता, सो में विसर न जाए।
The mind becomes rich with divine knowledge if one listens to Guru's teachings with love and devotion. O my Guru, bless me with this understanding that I may never forget Vaheguru, who is the only provider to all living beings.
जे जुग चारे आर जा, होर दसूनी होए। नवां खंडां विच जाणिए, नाल चलै सब कोए। चंगा नाउं रखाए कै, जस कीरत जग ले।
If someone lives for as long as 4 ages and even 10 times that, and he is known in all the corners of earth and he commands the universe, he may become very famous that is praised by all the mankind.
जे तिस नदर न आवई, तां वात न पुछै के। कीटां अंदर कीट, कर दोसी दोस्तरे।
If, however, he is not approved by Vaheguru and is deprived of Vaheguru's grace, then he will be like the most worthless, not cared for by anyone, as the lowest of the most insignificant worms. God holds him as a culprit or the evildoer.
नानक निर्गुण गुण करे, गुणवंतियां गुण दे। तेहा कोई ना सुचई, जे तिस गुण कोई करे।
Nanak says, Vaheguru grants virtues to the virtueless ones, also more virtues to the virtuous. One cannot think of anyone who can show any goodness to Vaheguru and is as pure as him.
सुनिए सिद्ध पीर सुरनाथ, सुनिए तरत तवल आकाश।
By listening to the name of Vaheguru with love and devotion, a person becomes a saint, a religious guide, a spiritual leader and a great yogi. By listening to the name of Vaheguru with love and devotion, a person understands the nature of the earth and the universe and who is supporting them?
सुनिए दीप लो पाताल, सुनिए पोह न सके काल.
By listening to the name of Vaheguru with love and devotion, a person attains the knowledge of the continents and the worlds. By listening to the name of the God with love and devotion, a person gets rid of the fear of death and achieves salvation.
नानक भगता सदा विकास, सुनिए दुख पाप का नाश.
Nanak says, his devotees, person who listens to the name of the God with love and devotion, are always in the state of true joy and happiness.